Mr. Giorgi Badridze, glad to have you on GD interview. After all that Putin has done in Ukraine, should we say that there is no space for him in the future?
He doesn't believe himself that his regime was stable enough for him to remain in power for a long-term perspective. We need to understand that main priority of Putin and his regime is the consolidation and preservation of power. We must think that he had the reasons to believe that without doing something dramatic, his power was not stable enough.
Where is China? Should we say that they left Russia, or it's a long-term strategy played by two geopolitical giants?
China and Russia may be sharing some of the elements of their political system, but they are different. In the old communist times, China was looked down by the Soviet Union. In the 50s, for instance, the Soviet economy was twice as large as that of China. Today, Chinese GDP is 10 times that of Russia. So it is quite clear who would be the big brother should they form a real alliance. Number two, the behavior of China and Russia internationally. China considers Russia as a junior partner, and there is a quite serious degree of cooperation between the two. But China does not share Russia's desire to break down the international system based on rules. China would rather take advantage of the system, but Russia is trying to break it.
Georgia is on the brink of being candidate for the membership in the EU. Would it be correct from the EU now to say no because of the mistakes GD made in the past?
When you do not behave in a European way, you should not expect closer connection and cooperation on part of the EU. It is on us that we, our government, has not consolidated democratic institutions, that has not approximated Georgian democratic standards with those of EU. And number two, as I said, we simply did not take the advantages of the free trade with the EU and instead gave priority to trading with Russia, which is now coming back to us as a dependence and as a sort of government's excuse for not being able to impose sanctions.
Being deeply dependent on Russian economy, how could Georgian government impose sanctions on Russia?
Without imposing sanctions, Georgian economy will be paying the price already. Because of the weakened ruble, Georgians won't be able to export their traditional goods to Russian markets. Georgians won't be able to send their remittances from Russia to Georgia. So Georgia will feel the whole range of economic effects of the war and of the international sanctions without even joining them. So yes, I can see why the government decided that they would not join the sanctions, although once again, I blame them for putting Georgia in that position. But at least they could have refrained from stating this as a government policy so openly and proudly.
Was it correct to recall the ambassador from Georgia while the Ukrainian ambassador remains in Belarus?
First of all, it would be unfair to judge the president of a fighting nation, a leader who is personally fighting for the life of his country, more strictly than the actions of our own government. So I call upon all Georgians to consider this when they are making their mind whether to be hurt by President Zelensky's decision. Ukraine has every reason to be badly injured, badly hurt by the reaction of the Georgian government after what they have done in the early 90s when they helped us evacuate our people, when they helped us fight for the territorial integrity of Georgia in that war than when they supplied air defenses in 2008 war and fought with us. Today, Georgia doesn't look in a good light. They are fighting for the freedom of our country as well today. Judging them today, I think this would be wrong.
Former ambassador in the United Kingdom, Mr. Giorgi Badridze, was our guest. Thank you for this interesting interview.
Thank you.